Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to Nine Nar Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. Mastery, The Keys to Success and Long-Term Fulfillment by George Leonard is a compact, influential guide to understanding how lasting skill, confidence, and satisfaction are built over time. Rather than chasing quick wins, Leonard explores mastery as a lifelong path defined by practice, patience, and a willingness to learn from setbacks. Drawing on ideas from sports, the arts, business, and personal growth, the book highlights the difference between people who merely dabble and those who develop deep capability. A central theme is that progress rarely looks like a straight line. Instead, it often comes in stretches where nothing seems to change, followed by breakthroughs that arrive after sustained effort. Leonard also examines the mental traps that cause many people to quit early, and he offers practical ways to embrace routine, manage motivation, and stay committed to long-term improvement. The result is a mindset-oriented roadmap for anyone seeking excellence with greater meaning and balance. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, mastery as a lifelong path, not a quick outcome. Leonard frames mastery as a process that reshapes how a person relates to goals, work, and identity. Instead of treating success as a finish line, the book emphasizes commitment to a path where learning and refinement are ongoing. This reorientation matters because outcome-focused thinking can create cycles of intense effort followed by disappointment or burnout. Mastery, in contrast, rewards the individual for showing up, practicing, and improving incrementally, even when recognition or external payoff is delayed. The approach also encourages humility, since the path of mastery assumes there is always more to learn. In practical terms, this perspective helps readers choose goals worth pursuing for years rather than weeks, and it supports more resilient decision-making when progress feels slow. It also reframes talent. Natural ability may influence a starting point, but it is deliberate practice, consistency, and attention that determine long-term development. By focusing on the path, readers can build durable confidence rooted in competence rather than temporary results. Over time, this can translate into greater fulfillment because the daily experience of purposeful practice becomes its own reward. Secondly, understanding the plateau and why it is where growth happens. A key idea associated with this book is that improvement often appears in bursts, separated by long plateaus where visible progress is minimal. Leonard treats the plateau not as failure but as the natural terrain of real learning. During these stretches, the body and mind integrate new skills, refine coordination, and stabilize habits. Many people misread a plateau as evidence they are not cut out for the task, leading them to switch pursuits or search for shortcuts. Leonard argues that the ability to stay engaged during flat periods is a defining trait of masters. This concept is especially useful because it gives readers a realistic map of progress and a strategy for motivation. If you expect plateaus, you are less likely to panic when they arrive. The book encourages finding satisfaction in repetition and in small process measures, such as consistency, quality of attention, or improved form, rather than only external results. Readers can apply this by tracking controllable inputs, designing practice routines that are sustainable, and viewing boredom or frustration as signals to adjust approach instead of abandon the goal. The plateau becomes a training ground for patience and discipline. Thirdly, the dabbler, the obsessive, and the hacker versus the master. Leonard contrasts the mindset of mastery with several common patterns that limit long-term growth. The dabbler seeks novelty and quits when initial excitement fades, often collecting beginnings without finishing. The obsessive demands constant progress and dramatic results, which can produce intensity but also impatience and emotional volatility when improvement slows. The hacker settles into passable competence and then coasts, avoiding the discomfort of deeper refinement. Against these, the master is characterized by steady practice, tolerance for slow gains, and a commitment to fundamentals. This framework helps readers diagnose their own tendencies without reducing them to fixed identities. Someone may dabble in one area and hack in another, and the value lies in noticing the pattern early. The book suggests that mastery involves choosing to stay when it would be easier to switch, choosing to refine when it would be easier to settle, and choosing process over constant validation. For readers, the benefit is practical. Once you recognize the pattern, you can design countermeasures, such as setting long-term commitments, creating structured practice plans, and reframing discomfort as a sign of meaningful work. The classification also makes it easier to build teams and cultures that reward learning, not just performance. Fourthly, practice, routine, and the role of surrender in learning. A recurring message in Leonard's work is that practice is not merely a means to an end, but a way of life that shapes character. The book highlights the power of routine, consistent, well-designed practice sessions accumulate into expertise. This is not about grinding without thought, but about engaging with fundamentals, refining technique, and paying attention to feedback. Leonard also introduces the idea of surrender, meaning a willingness to submit to the discipline of the process and to accept that learning changes you. Surrender can involve letting go of ego, tolerating being a beginner, and receiving correction without defensiveness. For many readers, this is the missing piece, because they may want the identity of being skilled without passing through the vulnerability of becoming skilled. By normalizing surrender, the book supports a healthier relationship with coaching, mentorship, and self-critique. Applied to work and creative pursuits, the emphasis on routine helps readers build momentum even when motivation fluctuates. Rather than relying on inspiration, you rely on a schedule, a practice environment, and clear standards. Over time, this creates a stable platform for breakthroughs and reduces the emotional turbulence that can derail long-term goals. Lastly, long-term fulfillment through meaningful challenge and self-transformation. Leonard connects mastery to fulfillment by showing that deep satisfaction often comes from sustained engagement with a meaningful challenge. The pursuit becomes a vehicle for personal transformation. You develop patience, concentration, courage, and a more grounded sense of self. This perspective stands apart from simplistic success narratives that focus only on status or external rewards. Mastery is portrayed as internally enriching because it aligns daily actions with long-term values. It also offers a mature view of motivation. Instead of chasing constant excitement, the master learns to appreciate subtle improvements, disciplined effort, and the quiet pride of showing up. The book's emphasis on long-term fulfillment speaks to readers who want progress without sacrificing well-being. By learning to enjoy the process, setbacks become less threatening and more instructive. This mindset can improve relationships too, because it promotes humility, persistence, and respect for others on their own learning curves. For professionals, mastery thinking supports career resilience. Industries change, but the ability to learn, practice, and improve remains valuable. Ultimately, the book positions mastery not just as skill acquisition, but as a way to build a life that feels coherent, purposeful, and steadily growing. In conclusion, this book is best suited for readers who are serious about developing a skill or craft over the long run, including athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, managers, students, and anyone rebuilding confidence through disciplined practice. It also fits people who feel stuck, impatient, or discouraged by slow progress, because it offers a realistic model of how improvement actually unfolds. The main benefit is psychological and practical. It helps you trade short-term motivation hacks for a stable approach rooted in routine, patience, and attention. By learning to expect plateaus, accept feedback, and commit to fundamentals, readers can reduce anxiety about progress and increase the quality of their daily effort. That shift often improves life beyond the chosen skill, strengthening resilience, self-control, and long-term decision-making. Compared to many success books that emphasize rapid transformation or vague positivity, Leonard's work stands out for its clear framework of common failure patterns and its focus on process. It is worth buying because it gives readers a durable philosophy they can apply to learning anything, and it does so in a way that supports achievement without sacrificing meaning or well-being over time. If you would like to support George Leonard, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.